Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, X-Transbots shows off prototype images of a masterpiece-scaled Crosscut and Skids. The eBay toy catalog includes mint in-sealed box G1 Transformers, and with Black Friday upon us, be sure to check out all the amazing Transmissions swag available at TeePublic. Today is Wednesday, November 21st, 2018, and this is episode 304 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that has always been, and will always be, true believers. I'm your host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
How you doing?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hey, what's happening? Let's talk Transformers.
All right, and of course, I think everyone's aware of we lost a giant in the comics industry last week. Mr. Stan Lee finally passed on at the ripe old age of 95. So there was a lot of tributes to Stan Lee. I mean, I think he had a huge influence. I mean, all the characters he co-created at Marvel Comics, just his passion and enthusiasm and promotion of comics in general, and he got to live to see his creations go on to become, world famous and known to everyone. And I think he became known to everyone. So it was, it's just really sad to see him go. And you might wonder, well, why are you talking about this on a Transformers podcast? And of course, Transformers, the story of the Transformers started with Marvel Comics. And Hasbro came to Marvel Comics and asked them to create the story of the Transformers. And they did, and they created the comics. And while Stan Lee didn't have a direct hand in that, I mean, without Stan Lee, there wouldn't be Marvel Comics as we know it today. So.
And issue 1 of Transformers does say Stan Lee presents
the
Transformers.
Yep.
So there you go. They couldn't put that if it wasn't true.
Right. So I mean, so I know Daryl, you got to meet Stan Lee. I never got to meet him, but
I did. I met him a few years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was nice enough. His last few years were it was
tumultuous.
Yeah, it was not the best. Definitely having some issues with security and people to trust and that kind of thing. And as far as conventions go, personally, I think he got turned into a bit of a signing machine, signing everything for everyone, and which was kind of sad to see. But I think that's what kind of kept his empire, quote unquote, going. But his name was what made a lot of people a lot of money. And being 95, being able to be carted around to different conventions all over the world was a big moneymaker. And people took advantage of that, unfortunately for him. But yeah, I did get to meet him. A very short, brief meeting about 4 or 5 years ago. And did get an issue of Amazing Spider-Man signed by him at the time. So, yeah, it's one signature. I didn't go and get 100 things signed by him. I had one thing signed, plus it was $70 at the time, which was quite a bit. So, but yeah, I had the opportunity to get a second thing signed by him a couple of years later. Never did. I had my one thing signed by Stan. It was nice enough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. He did a lot. There's a lot of things, going around about the influence and what Stan Lee actually did, for Marvel, because there was a lot of, beginnings, like stuff happening at the beginnings between him and Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, and the collaboration and whether or not he gave enough credit to the artists. And I don't think he did give enough credit. He took a lot of it, right? Some would say all. But yeah, he rang the bell for a lot of issues at the time. X-Men being a really compelling mirror to the differently abled and the stuff that was going on in America at the time. It was a really interesting story to look at that. But it was a really he was an interesting fellow if you look back on what he did with the comic book industry.
Yeah, I mean, just to touch on that point, I mean, a lot of people are putting, if you like, I've seen people post on Facebook and Twitter, like the Stan soapbox messages that he put in the comics, and
that's right. Yeah,
I mean, those are really, you can really see what he stood for and how he spoke out against racism, against bigotry, and made sure that the comics that Marvel published stood for that. So, I mean, just that, I think that says a lot about his legacy. And yeah, I mean, I think in earlier he might have taken too much credit, but I do think in his later years he did at least try to make amends for that, or say, and always talk about how he collaborated and never did everything on his own, of course. Mm-hmm. But those guys passed on before he did, so it was it was kind of
right. It was definitely difficult.
Yeah.
And I remember when I realized how much of a story about racism and bigotry X-Men was, because I was reading it and I was always a huge fan of X-Men, and then it might have only been about 5-6 years ago, and somebody had mentioned how X-Men was an amalgam to racism and bigotry, and I said, wait, what? And they said, yeah, don't you understand that the X-Men with their differences were being hated by the humans, were basically a mirror to the plights of the African American population during the 60s. And I said, and my mind exploded. I said, wait, what? You mean he wasn't just telling a fantasy story? He said, yeah, if he actually told a story about the African culture, he wouldn't have sold any books during the time. He had to put these people in the superpowers and crazy stories, and had to make them, have these hated by people because they were different species. And it was, and my mind was exploded.
If they were reading about a blue character.
Yeah, I had no, but yeah, I really appreciated it so much more, and I've started going back and I'm reading some of these really early books that he wrote with Jack Kirby, and they're wonderful to really go back and look at.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, life goes on, but I think Stan Lee will be remembered for generations to come. So farewell. To turn things to a little bit more positive note, we have some news about our friend of the show, Jimmers. He was on last week. His Electronic Saviors series of albums from his production company, Distortion Productions. They made a press release where they announced how much money they have donated to charities for fighting cancer, and now they've donated so much now they're expanding to include charities to support mental health and suicide prevention. So they've already donated over $70,000, and now they're going to donate another $15,000 just coming up, and in particular, for the Respect the Prime, the two versions of Respect the Prime that they published, for those two albums alone, they donated $12,000 for the first one and $15,000 for the second convention exclusive one.
Wow!
So just
good job, Jimmers.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So
I think we need to add a title to Jimmers here. I mean, he's already a knight. He's been knighted. He's a musician. He's an all-around good guy, but I think we need to add philanthropist to his title here. This is really good work, Jim.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I particularly like the next charity that they say they're sponsoring on the cancer side that's called CAP for Kids, and specifically helping kids with cancer. And there's no greater thing to try to help in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said cat for kids, and that he was going to give kids with cancer kittens. I mean, that would be fun and cute and all, but I don't know. I was going to question how it was going to help anybody, but now that you explained it more, I get it.
Going to the website, it looks like it's an acronym for Cosplayers Against Pediatric Cancer, and obviously Captain America is a reference, and it's cosplayers that apparently go to hospitals and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And the Constructed Cold album is still up for sale, so we'll put a link in the show notes. You can get it directly from Distortion Productions. You can get it digitally, and if you want a physical release CD, it's right there.
That's awesome.
All right, Daryl, you have a special message for one of our Donatreons.
Yeah. Finally got a chance to meet him in person at TFCon Chicago, but his name's Brad, and he's been listening to the show for a while. He's local to Jeremy, so they've met up a couple times. But Brad sent me a message and said that at TFCon Chicago, he finally found the last piece of his North American G1 run, so he's got all of the G1 toys for the North American release. And I wanted to say publicly congratulations to him, because that's a really good accomplishment for him. It's something that a lot of us that collect G1 strive to do. And as the toys get older or I guess more recent, they're harder and harder to find. But way to go, Brad. Well done. Now go out and get a girlfriend there, bud.
I don't think his wife would appreciate that.
Maybe. You never know.
Would your
wife? He can start on the Euro G1 stuff.
Does your wife appreciate your girlfriend, Daryl?
Shh.
All right. So we don't have any new donations this week, but we do want to remind you, of course, of all the perks that our Donatreons get. Listen to the show live every week. Getting that extra Transmissions Declassified monthly episode. Our contest, to get extra entries in the contest. By the way, we are going to do our November Toy Hacks $10 gift code drawing probably next week, because that's the last weekend in November. So if you are not a Donatreon but you do want to enter, you can send us an email to contest@transmissionspodcast.com. Send us a picture of the toy you would like to sticker up for with your Toy Hack stickers, and that's an easy way for you to enter in this contest. Otherwise, if you are a Donatreon, you get automatically entered. And lastly, with Thanksgiving on the horizon and Black Friday coming up, we've got a special sale from our TeePublic store. So Jeremy's going to tell us about that.
Yes. So TeePublic is having a site-wide 30% off sale for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So Thursday and Friday, the November 22nd and 23rd, and then also Sunday, the November 25th and Monday, the 26th, there's 30% off sale during both of those windows, and that's 30% off everything. So t-shirts, they're normally $20, will be $14. You can get stickers, you can get wall art, like you can get a poster of the Tape Man logo if you want for $7.50 during the sale. You can get a mug, you can get notebooks, sweatshirts, whatever you want. They make great stocking stuffers. Why spend your time in line at Walmart during Black Friday when you can just go online, buy our shirts, and you're done? This podcast is all about you not going to Walmart. So anyway, just wanted to let you know. I'll probably be adding some more designs from the greater TeePublic site to our storefront that are Transformers related or maybe Christmas related. We'll see. So just check it out, and if you see something you like, click the buy button. And we also have had a few people over the last couple of days order some stuff, so thank you so much. DJ Ronan mentioned he bought something. TF Allen mentioned something. He bought something earlier today. So thanks so much, all you guys. Now you have to also wear it. So that's why Yoshi doesn't have one.
Send us a picture, of you wearing your shirt somewhere, or tweet it out, or put it on social media, and we will share it and retweet it and reshare it.
Yes, just the shirt. No other. DJ Ren's asking just the shirt. Yeah.
All right, put pants on, please. All right, so let's get into the show. Starting off with some toy news.
All right, so first up, we've got color prototype images of Zhangji JX Metal Beast 01 Winged Dragon. This is Beast Wars Transmetal 2 Megatron. We saw prototype images, gray prototype images of this at TFCon. This is the one that they were talking about in the third-party panel, that the chest kind of looks like muscle tissue. It's really nice. I like the way that this kind of looks. The paint on it is a metallic finish, which gives it that Beast Wars Transmetal kind of feel without the vacuum metal chrome that kind of sucked. But this is an incredible looking figure. The wings splay out to form a really nice, really nice wings. Can't think of another word there for a moment. But yeah, they're really nice, and it comes with two different types of like a flame effect to use coming out of the mouth. One's like a blue crystal, one's like a red crystal, so like a fire or an ice. So I kind of like it. I think it's really cool. It's not going to probably be bought by me just because it's a Beast Wars third-party item, but it's very pretty. I like the way it looks a lot. Jeremy, Beast Wars, what do you think?
I think it looks fantastic, particularly with the wings when they're splayed out, like you mentioned. Mm-hmm, I love the color. Yeah, like wings. I love the color of it. Where the middle, like the interior of the wings are more yellowy and it goes to a red, kind of giving that flame effect as they're splayed out, or like a sunset or something. It just looks really nice. And like you said, the metallic paint as opposed to the horrible vacuum metal stuff. Mm-hmm. It just looks so good. And I wish this wasn't a third party thing, so it would actually be affordable. Yeah, it's going
to be pricey.
I don't have a price on it off the top of my head. I can take a quick peek here and see if there's anything remotely available. Oh yeah, here it is. It's available for pre-order on Big Bad. $239.99 is the pre-order price. That's a spicy meatball.
Yeah, it's right around where I was expecting it to be. I was going to guess $250.
So yeah, there you go. It's a big figure too. I mean, I remember we did see it in Chicago. It's not tiny. It's a big mamba jamba. Charles, what do you think?
I agree. This is a really nice looking toy. I mean, this is a really good representation of Transmetal 2 Megatron. I do have this toy. I have the original, I guess, G1 Beast Wars toy.
Yep.
FP or 1P.
It was I inherited it from my brother, who was the right age for Beast Wars when he was a kid. So, but he grew out of toys and I didn't, so I got it. It's a nice. I mean, the original toy is a nice figure, but this looks like a pretty good upgrade. And especially, I mean, is this a physical prototype or is this a render? It looks kind of like a render.
It kind of does look like a render, doesn't it? I mean, the story does say that it's a color prototype, but the pictures really don't look real.
Yeah.
So, either way, it's impressive, though.
Yeah, this looks really nice, but yeah, like Jeremy, this is way out of my price range.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. It is. It's a little spicy. I do too. Still have the original Beast Wars 2 Megatron. It's nice enough. My daughter likes to play around with it. It's a dragon. I mean, she likes the dragon. But yeah, so that's what I brought this week, guys. Jeremy, what's on your plate?
I have some repaints of an X-Transbot Savant, which was their masterpiece G1 Skids.
Okay.
We have Herald, which is their version of Crosscut, which was a Skids repaint. And this is kind of just an all silver version of Skids. Not sure if the head, I'm not sure if it's that different. I can't remember how the Skids one looked, but it's a nice looking figure. We talked about this when the original one was out, where it came with a little scooter.
Oh, yeah.
We were asking about the scooter. Apparently, the scooter came with the car when you bought the car in real life.
That's right. Yes.
So it does still come with it, and the little scooter's paint job matches the car.
Skids had a mouth,
touch.
so Crosscut has a faceplate, so that's the difference in the head sculpt.
So I mean, it's a very late 70s, early 80s looking hatchback, very boxy. And then we also have the X-Transbots Taiho, which is a police deco of the figure. I'm not seeing that this is an actual reference to a previous, figure, but it's just, I guess, a common thing in Japan to have, a police vehicle look like this. You get the bar on top, light bar, and it's got, I'm guessing, says police on the side written in Japanese. I mean, if anything, the paint job does resemble Prowl a bit, but that's because he's a police car. Mm-hmm. Daryl, what do you think of these?
Well, I mean, I like the Crosscut paint job. I think it's nice. It's definitely right there with the rest of the Masterpiece scale. They got it standing next to Blue Streak, and it holds its own. I like the boxiness of the vehicle mode. It's really 70s. It's and super Japanese. So I mean, it took Japan a long time to come into their own with regards to automaking, and then they just kind of went past everybody. So yeah, looking back on these old Japanese car designs, it reminds me of when they sucked. But yeah, the police deco though, it's just kind of funny. It's definitely Prowl's design, like his paint job, just thrown on this model, which is just kind of odd. I find. I'd be interested to know, like, I mean, was there a police vehicle made out of this car? Like, I mean, the story references similar vehicles of today look like this, but this is a 70s vehicle, right? So was there a version of this in the 70s? Like, is it an actual reference to something, or is it just a kind of sell another version of it kind of thing?
Yeah, but I mean, I would imagine it's always been somewhat of like, you take a car, like any car that you could get a number of, and just paint them. I mean, like these days, you'll see police cars of varying models. Like, in some towns that are speed traps, you'll have cars that are like Corvettes, but they're police cars.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So. No, you're right. And, but all in all, I think it's a fun figure. Mm-hmm. Skids is one of those characters that never got any love at all through G1, and basically, I mean, through his appearances in the cartoon, the comic. You could count those all on one hand.
Well,
right?
he got a little bit of love in issue 20 of the comic.
That's true. He did get some actual love, yeah, but yeah, still that one appearance didn't count for a whole lot. But yeah, no, I if you're a fan of Skids, then you're in heaven right now, because you're getting your fill of all the molds you can want. But it's fine.
One issue I'm seeing with this, I just looked up the prices. The police model, the Taiho, pre-order is $99.99. The Herald, the Crosscut one, is $89.99.
It's an expensive light bar.
Yeah, I guess, because in my mind, I'm like, that's the third reuse of the mold. It should get cheaper as you reuse it more, because I mean, there's a greater market for a Crosscut remold than there is for just a random police car.
Well, I think this one is specifically targeted for fans of this anime, because they're in that particular mold. They're including these two dolls that are supposed to represent the characters from the anime.
That could make up for the extra price too.
Yeah, you're under arrest. Taiho Shichaozo And there's two, I guess that there are two female police officers who are the main characters of the anime, and it's supposed to represent their car, their police van.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Really? They're just black and white? Or is it this representing something that's not made yet or finalized?
No, it's referencing the police car that they had in that anime.
Right, I get it, but the characters, you're getting this... Are you getting this little piece of plastic that just shows the characters in black?
That's just showing the scale.
I don't think that's the final. I think the figures will be actual figures, not just silhouettes. Yeah, the picture just shows the two silhouettes, I guess, for copyright reasons. But I imagine the
two
dolls,
girl figurines. Yeah, I get it. There it is. There.
Yeah.
All right. There's your $10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Charles, before we go further on this, and Mikey just kills us for butchering anything about an anime, what are your thoughts on these two figures?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess the Crosscut would be more of the draw for me, just because he did feature briefly in More Than Meets the Eye in the comic. Particularly, he was one of the pack-in characters for the Dark Cybertron crossover. That's where he got introduced. But yeah, I mean, I was a little bit of a fan of Skids just for those couple of issues he was in the Marvel comics. I liked his character. He did, it was the one issue with Charlene, of course, and then the issue where he and Donnie Finkelberg did that cross-country trip. That endeared me to Skids a little bit, but then, of course, he disappeared. That was, he was captured by Circuit Breaker, and then you never really saw him again after he got released. So the Simon Furman had a few more stories in the UK comics of Skids. I also liked Skids in More Than Meets the Eye, so I thought his character was good there. Then he was killed too. But yeah, the car design, the 70s car design is not really my cup of tea for the toy design. I like the updated version they did for Generations in 2013 or 2014.
Well, the car design is shit, but it's so shit, it's good.
Yeah, it's not trying to be anything other than what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, looking forward to seeing these come out. Yeah. So, Charles, what do you have this week?
All right. So I'll close out the toy section with some news about an eBay auction or eBay toy catalog that's going to put up a set of authentic mint in sealed box G1 figures. So at the time of this recording, we don't have the total list of what figures are going to be there. We just have basically a couple of images so we can see what is possibly going to be there. But by the time the show goes live, I think the auction will be open, so you'll be able to see for yourself. But they do rate this collection at $100,000. So apparently they've got some juicy figures here. I mean, in the picture we see a Perceptor, a Snarl, a Quick Switch, and a Triptychon. All G1 versions, mint and sealed box. And they also look like they're in the sealed collector boxes. Yeah, they're cased and graded. So yeah,
so you're not buying these to play with.
So I mean, I don't know if you're
why go to eBay with this? Why not go to an actual auction house?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to judge given that we don't. I mean, with such a high number, I got to think they've got almost a complete set of G1 figures here.
It's 25 figures.
Okay, well,
so it's a 25 figure collection.
Yeah. So. Well, that's not too many. So they must have some really.
We're looking at 5 of them right here.
Yeah.
This person also. I mean, the story goes on to say that they've got a. It's not them. It's other big ticket vintage items that eBay's toy book includes is a 1979 Kenner Boba Fett in mint condition, 1960s redhead Barbie, Magic the Gathering Alpha Black Lotus, which they're expecting to be $100,000 on its own.
Wow.
And Charizard and Blastoise Pokemon cards, $33,000 and $10,000 respectively. Damn, I wish I bought Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
sometimes you just take this stuff to an actual auction house, though. This is eBay's just too Mickey Mouse for this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, if you got, I mean, as you're listening to this, the auction will have started yesterday. So, let us know in social media or in the comments what you think of the figures. I mean, I got to think I would think for $100,000 you would get more than you should get more than 25 figures out of that. I don't know. It seems like this is going to be priced way too high. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at some point you're also paying for the grading and the sealing and stuff, but that's just so much for what you're getting and just not worth it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. If Yoshi were here, I wonder what his thoughts would be if he'd have any interest in this. Yoshi, let us know in the comments.
Yoshi grades comic books, not toys.
Right.
Yeah, but he's a G1 nut, a G1 fiend, so this might be something he beat.
But he also has opened up the toys, like when he got that Megatron, he opened it up. And,
yeah.
Well,
we don't have no proof yet. We just showed off the box.
No, I saw it in Chicago that year.
Oh.
I saw it in person.
I didn't see it. It's Schrodinger's Megatron for me.
All right, well, that's my toy topic, so let's move on to some trips to the store. This is where we show off all the awesome Transformers merchandise we got this week. We do this as a video that you'll see on YouTube, and you can see all our goodies in beautiful high definition. But you can listen right now in the show. We'll put the audio right here, so just keep listening, and you'll hear us describe everything in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store.
Transmissions wouldn't be what it is today without the awesome support of our listeners. If you'd like to support our shows and enjoy the exclusive benefits that our donors get, please visit transmissionspodcast.com/support.
All right, Jeremy, what did you pick up this week?
All right. Well, this week, just a few comics I'll show, but I wasn't on the show last week, so I get to finish out my TFCon haul. So thanks to Yoshi, he got me this print from Keith Tucker. I believe he got this at Emerald City, and he signed it. Knowing that I'm an Animaniacs fan and a Star Wars fan, he has the Animaniacs characters dressed up as Star Wars characters.
Nice.
You have Yakko as Han Solo, Wacko as Luke, and Dot as Leia. So that's awesome. And then I found out I'm very likely going to be going to C2E2 in Chicago next spring, and Rob Paulson's going to be there, who was Yakko. So I'm going to get this signed.
Awesome. That's worse incest than the actual Star Wars. Thanks
to Daryl, he picked up this Justice League number one. First issue. This is the infamous "want to make something of it" cover that Transformers has homaged over and over again, particularly in More Than Meets the Eye. Now I have the source material for that, so thank you, Daryl.
No problem.
Recently, DC has put out some of these blank comics that are just like all blank on the inside, and it's meant for like this 24 hours of comics thing where you would, if you actually have artistic talent, you could make a whole comic book in 24 hours, I'm guessing for charity or something. But I'm thinking, hey, this is a great opportunity for a sketchbook. So I'm going to get different characters to do their interpretations, or different artists to do their interpretations on Superman. So the first one was Thomas Deere, and I just, the only instruction I'm giving these people is I just want their take on Superman. Other than that, it's however they want to do it. And he did a Dark Knight's Rises or Dark Knight's Return era, like old Superman, kind of gruff, and he's not very happy. And I thought it looks fantastic, and I couldn't be more pleased with how this turned out. So thank you, Thomas, for that.
They didn't charge like the full $4 for that blank book, did they?
No, it's $2.99. But every page is the same quality paper. You know, the way the sketchbook or the sketch covers feel. Mm-hmm. Every page is that matte type of paper.
Okay, so that's still $3 for a blank book.
It is, but you have to pay to get the logo. it's something that it's going to last me for, a few years, I'm sure, to fill up.
Yep.
Continuing on the Superman front, they have this kid-oriented superpowers book, and I'm going to take out the sleeve so it's not so shiny. So it's done by Art Balthazar, and this is the way the art kind of looks in the book. It's very, kiddie, very fun. So I had Matt Moylan do his take on Superman, and I'm going to get this in my kids' room.
Oh, that's beautiful.
He did his Little Formers take on Superman, even added some more stars. It was really cool. So this is going to go with the Josh Perez Mickey Mouse that I had from a couple years ago in my kids' room. So I think that's just something neat that I think I'm going to continue to do. And at some point, when he's gets past his teen years, he'll probably appreciate it. So the crossover between non-Transformers and Transformers is Star Trek versus Transformers #2. I don't think I've actually read it yet. We've had the preview copy. I don't think I've had a chance to read it yet. I got Unicron #6, covers A and B. I really wanted that RI cover, and someone got there before me. And then this is kind of the creme de la creme of my commissions at TFCon, because this is the one I commissioned months ahead of time and sent off the book. It's Casey Collar's take on Scrounge to go with the Bob Budiansky Scrounge that I had done a few years ago. So I am very happy with this. Apparently, when you get your request into the artist well ahead of time and they're not under a time crunch to do it, really get to have fun with it and go above and beyond. So that's really awesome. So that is it. All my stuff this week.
Very cool. All right, Daryl, you're up next.
All right. Well, I also got some comics this week. I got the Star Wars Transformers. This is cover A. Whatever. Star Trek versus Transformers.
You turn in your geek card.
I also have not read it. This is cover A. I got cover B as well, just because I had two covers for the first one. I don't know if I want to do this again, but I don't know. I'm a terrible person. So, yeah. So that's cover B. And then I did get Unicron #6. That's the Alex Milne cover A. And I did get the cover B as well. So that does complete all of the James Reyes stuff. So I just got to put them all together now. Magical 6-piece puzzle. But yeah, so that'll be a fun thing. I really love the Alex cover. This is the one that I picked last week. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And so that's cool.
The big question is, next week, are you going to get the GoBots #1?
No. Wanted to show this off. Charles had sent this to TFCon for me to collect, and this is the Ladybug book from TF Nation. So I got that, and I haven't read through it yet, but it looks really fun. Some really decent art in there from a bunch of people. And looking forward to getting the chance to sit down and read that. It looks a little advanced for my daughter so far, but maybe once I give it a peruse. I do have a couple figures that I'm looking to show from TFCon. This is Windcharger. Never had a Windcharger before, so that's my first one. Decent little mini-bod, nothing much to him. He's got a little bit of an arm issue, so I might have to fix him. But one who does not have an arm issue, no issues whatsoever, actually, this is Hubcap. He's pretty fun. The same design as Bumblebee and Cliffjumper and all the rest. But he's tight, really tight. So really impressed with this one. Thanks to Brad for getting these guys for me and holding them until I could meet them up at TFCon. And then this one I was able to find at a parts party. This is G1 Guzzle, and he's 100% complete because he came with nothing. So, yeah, good to knock off another G1 figure here that doesn't need any parts to complete. So, he's a Sparkabot. I haven't really tried to mess with him and see if the spark still works, but I don't think it does. So, I might have to do some repairs on him and see if I can get it to work. But I'm not too concerned. It's kind of just a little Sparkabot thing there. But one thing I did do when I was in Chicago and driving back with Duggernaut is we stopped at some Targets and we did buy a bunch of the Transformers trading card game. And I'm saving a bunch of these for my daughter once I teach her how to play the game. I saved some packs so that she can open, but I wanted to open one just here on the show to see if I can pull a Nemesis like Yoshi did. And so I'm going to do it just to see, because I've been seeing some Nemesis pop up lately, and who knows? Maybe they increased the amount of Nemesis primes out there. Probably not, but who knows? Let's see. It's not a Nemesis. It's a Chromia.
Oh.
So she is a rare, though, so that's kind of cool.
Nice.
And I don't have her yet, so cool. Fun Chromia. The alt mode there. Anyway, that's all I had. Charles, you're up.
You saw last week I got postcards from Yoshi. I got another postcard from Yoshi, and this one is art from Daimooch himself, Josh Perez. So the other two were K-Girl. This one is Daimooch. It's Carly in an action pose, which is cool. And on this card, Yoshi writes, Donator, noun, a person who gives to charity or cause. Benefactor, benefactress, contributor, giver. Also not a word. Thanks, Yoshi. I don't know how many more postcards are coming my way, but this, if you didn't know before, Yoshi is an asshole, so. He is.
He's
it's
also
confirmed.
He's also putting money into his trolling of viewers.
He is. All right. I also picked up some comics, Star Trek versus Transformers #2. I got the 2 regular covers as well. I still have not read it either, so we have that in common. I also picked up Unicron #6. They had no variant covers at my shop, so I'm gonna have to go online to get some of these variant covers because my shop
Wish I'd known. They offered me before they had brought out my books. The shop owner was like, "Hey, did you want the B cover?"
No,
so I could have picked up another one, but
it's okay.
I'll see if they still have it on Wednesday.
All right, so that's the comics I got. Also, so on Saturday, there was a 20% off sale at Target. So I learned this through our Discord because Jeremy put a message there. Thanks, Jeremy, for that hot tip. And earlier, I had gotten the DCPI numbers for the War for Cybertron Siege figures from Gabe, also in our Discord chat. Thanks, Gabe.
Gabe!
So I went down to my Target, and I also have a Target credit card, which gives me 5% off on everything. So I was hoping to score, and I did. So I got a bunch of stuff, so I'm going to spread it out a little bit, but I'm going to show some stuff today. First up, I finally found Quintus Prime, also known as Bludgeon, the last Prime Master that I needed. But the Bludgeon figure is really nice. I mean, you probably can't see it here on the video, but it's very detailed. I like the stylings here. It's very very high quality there. It's a great little Pretender shell. Of course, the little guy's inside there too. So that was great, Bludgeon. But that's old news. I got some War for Cybertron Siege figures. I got the Micromaster Battle Patrol. So this is Top Shot and Flak. These guys are not great. Their legs keep falling off. They're a little loose, but they're cool. I like Micromasters, although it would have been great to have 4 instead of 2, but oh well. And another figure I got was a Battlemaster, Blowpipe. We know him as Target Master. He's Trigger Happy's Target Master partner. He comes with the little weapons fire thingy you can put on their gun. It's a little soft plastic. So, yeah, but it's cool. Like he has the gun part is detachable, so you can put it on his arm, but it also goes on his back. So when you can transform him like like an old school Target Master. So that's cool. Peg in. There we go. Yeah, it's a little bit more articulated than the G1 Target Masters, and it's nice, and it does fit with my Titans Return trigger happy. So I have a true Target Master.
Nice,
cool.
It's kind of lame that they're finishing lines like this, like with figures in the next line. They've done this for a while now. But I guess it's the only way they can get the thing out.
Yeah, I mean,
Trigger Happy's a headmaster now too.
Yeah, so I've got two blowpipes here. So I've got the blowpipe here and the blowpipe here. So
I don't know if I can get comfortable with you saying blowpipe.
Well, the blowpipe's giving me head, so.
Oh no!
Oh no, Charles.
So yeah, so this was cool getting War for Cybertron Siege figures. I cornered a Target employee and gave him the DCPI the DCPI numbers, and he went in the back and checked for me and got the figures for me. So thank you to that Target employee, helped me out. I did get a few more things that I will show next week. All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and let's finish up the show with some convention news.
All right, only one thing in convention news this week. We have news that Takara Tomy has been confirmed to be at Tokyo Comic Con 2018. That will be November 30th through December 2nd, and they are going to have a cool Bumblebee-themed decoration, which includes a big Bumblebee statue at the booth, Studio Series Masterpiece Movie and Movie Toy exhibition, a Masterpiece and Siege exhibition, and a display of their collaboration and commemorative items, as well as Takara Tomy Mall items, and a special stage with big guests. So, I mean, it looks like if you're looking to get some of the Takara Tomy Mall exclusive items and you're in Tokyo, you can probably pick up some there. We're kind of hoping that we'll get news on some of the upcoming Masterpiece stuff, like the new version of the Optimus Prime or Masterpiece Hound, or some more Siege stuff. So, we'll just have to wait and see just a couple weeks. So that is it for convention news.
All right, and that'll do it for this episode of Transmissions. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy Turkey Day. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanksgiving was last month. Later.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Poorly oiled machine.
Okay, now we can talk Transformers.
That's my line.
Bless you.
Gazoon tight. Oh my. Holy cow.
Something snuck up my nose or something.
Gross. So we're in the wrong shirt, Jeremy.
You're more of a stickler for this than I am, Daryl. I just made the suggestion. You're like, we're going to enforce this.
Making sure that we're all on the same page.
What'd you say?
He said, get your shirt on, Jeremy. He's like, hey, did you see any white powder here on the table? And I just, without missing a beat, just went, nope. Some guy posted on the Transformers subreddit. He's like, I bought the Transformers trading card game starter pack and 5 boosters. What do I do with these cards? And posted all the character cards he got. Got Nemesis Prime. I replied to him, said, well, look, you got the best card in the game being Nemesis Prime. He's also the most valuable. You can do whatever you want, or you could sell that one card and recoup all the money you spent. So, so do whatever you want.
Why are you not? This is where XSplit screws up.
No.
Yes, I should bring this back up.
Another marital aid in your blowpipe.
Something less racy next week.
This show has gone downhill. Mm-hmm.